A federal judge has ruled the executions for 5 Oklahoma death row inmates can move forward.
The first one set for this Thursday. News 9's Storm Jones is live from the federal courthouse with the very latest. Storm?
Yeah, guys, Judge Stephen Fry denying that motion for a stay today. He said basically for him to put the brakes on these pending executions, the death row inmates must show a likelihood of winning a pending case against the state's execution protocol. Now, Judge Fry says that's impossible for these 5 to win because they refuse to select an alternative method of execution. The judge cited a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that says in order for a death row inmate to challenge a method of execution as cruel and unusual, they must also select an alternative method so that these types of appeals don't go on forever. Now, these 5 prisoners today, including Julius Jones, say they declined to pick an alternative out of a religious objection, saying they can't aid in their own death. All of this going on while the challenge against the protocol continues for more than 20 death row inmates who did select an alternative execution method. That trial starts early next year. Now, also discussed today the potential harm if the judge were to put a stay in place for these executions. An attorney for the prisoners argued that there would obviously be great harm to these inmates if they were executed and the protocol were later to be found unconstitutional. He said the harm to the state, however, would be minimal. But Judge Fry disagreed, saying there will be substantial harm either way and that the state has a substantial interest in carrying out justice for the victims of these crimes.
We're disappointed with the decision, but we're prepared to take it to the 10th Circuit.
Now, it's obvious we are running up against a tight deadline. John Grant scheduled to be executed on Thursday. And while these appeals are working their way now through the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals and potentially even the Supreme Court, the Department of Corrections is taking very seriously gearing up for Thursday's execution. We know John Grant, for example, has already chosen his last meal that he will eat Wednesday night. Both Grant and Julius Jones are currently in segregation away from the other death row inmates as their execution dates near. We'll be following it all. For now, we're live at the federal courthouse in downtown Oklahoma City. Storm Jones, Oklahoma's own News 9.